Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Spilt Milk.
Spilt Milk is Fordham University's favorite cereal-themed podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Julia Leahy.
And I'm Liam Dahlborn. So, listen, everyone, Julia and I are both in a class called Performance for Broadcast Media. And let me just say, there are some characters in that class.
There really, really are. Lately, you guys have really been loving the series that we have where we decide which people just embody certain types of cereal.
Yes, you guys really love that series. So, on this 22nd episode of Spilt Milk, we are going to break down which cereal best represents each person in our class. So, let's just get into it.
All right, Liam, are you ready?
I'm ready.
First up here, we've got Astony. And I've decided for Astony, for me, she is a personification of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
I think
Right.
that Astony, she's a classic, right? She's first of all, she's way more mature than any of us because she's lived life. She's out there living life.
Uh-huh.
A classic cereal. But then you got this touch of flair, this little flavor
Yeah,
with the cinnamon. Do you feel my vibe at all?
totally. I totally agree. I think that also when I think of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, that cereal, that iconic cereal, I think of that commercial with the little characters who have like the two eyes and they have their tongues sticking out and
Right, and
they're
they're
just
like
iconic. Yes,
swimming
they're
in milk.
swimming in like the little pools. That's what I think of when I think of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And those characters also remind me of Astony.
Because let me tell you something else. Picture Astony at like an emo rock punk concert. We know she loves that. Tongue out, carefree.
Yeah.
This just doesn't care what anyone thinks. Living life, partying hard. Tell me she is not one of those little cinnamon toast crunch guys in a bowl of milk.
Exactly. Exactly. And that cereal definitely represents her. It's a great cereal for her. And their slogan is actually unlock the Cineverse. So I definitely think that embodies Astony's personality.
I agree. Who do you have? Who's your first up cinnamon or
Okay, so listen to
cereal
this,
person?
Julia.
Yeah,
Julia, I have Grace as Honey Bunches of Oats. And
I've
let me
never
tell
heard anything more on point in my entire life.
yeah, let me tell you why. She is just a ball of sunshine. And like you see that on the box of cereal, you see that big yellow sun, and you see that on the cereal. And let me just tell you, she is just sunshine wrapped up in a person. She has such a bubbly personality, super kind, super funny. She is the definition of sunshine. So that's why I put her as Honey Bunch of Oats.
You're right. She's got this like sweet, soft vibe. And Honey Bunches of Oats. It's a cereal for the coastal grandmothers of the world. And that's Grace. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
exactly. Next up we got Jake, an icon in the broadcast media class. There's not a question in my mind. That man is Captain Crunch.
I would agree with that because I think that he has this like confidence about him. Like when he is like, for example, last week we just did op-eds. He wrote a whole op-ed about how he hates astrology. And so listen, his confidence about it, like he wasn't backing down. Like he agreed. He wasn't like saying like, oh, well, maybe. He was confident about his opinions. And that is definitely the character of Captain Crunch. So
You're
that's
right.
the cereal as
You're
well.
right. I think like a something about Captain Crunch is that you put Captain Crunch in milk, it's not getting soggy. That shit stays crunchy. And if I think of someone in this class who packs a punch and stays crunchy, it's Jake.
For sure. I would definitely think that that's him.
That's him.
Hmm.
All right, who's
Okay.
next?
So next up on our list, we have Ashley, and we've decided that she is the definition of Lucky Charms.
I would have to agree.
Yes, I think of Lucky Charms as like this like fashionable, stylish, like type of cereal, and that's definitely Ashley. Like she is has a lot of texture, super fun, super colorful. Like I feel like every time she's in class, she's always wearing a different color too.
She's a fashion girly. Her outfits are always on point. She comes dressed to impress. And one thing about fashion, you got to play with the layers, with the textures. You can't just have one flavor of cereal. And that's the thing about Lucky Charms. You got those little oats, but then you got those marshmallows, and that's where the party is at.
Oh yeah. Yes. The party is the marshmallows. That is the whole cereal. That's the
And like
texture. That's the flavor.
absolutely. And let's think about the cereal mascot for a second. That little leprechaun. Tell me that guy is not serving a
Oh
look.
yeah. He is super stylish in
You
that
know that
green tux.
that is like a top of the line tailored suit he's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And
For
that's
sure.
Ashley. I think the Lucky Charms leprechaun could go to the Met Gala and
Oh,
Ashley would approve.
I think Ashley would approve. She'd be like one of the reporters on the sides, and she'd be like, "Hey, that's a 10 out of 10."
That's a 10 out of 10 right there. And if you are just joining us now, you're listening to Spilt Milk, Fordham University's only cereal podcast with Julie Leahy and Liam Dalborn. Let's get in to the next character in our lineup today. We've got Maudie. Now, who else is Maudie but Reese's Puffs? Let me give my reasoning, Liam.
Okay.
Reese's Puffs, arguably the cereal with the best jingle. Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs, peanut butter chocolate flavor. Now, imagine Maudie with his amazing radio singing voice, absolutely nailing that jingle.
Yes, I can totally see it. I could totally see him having his own
Feel
show
it.
and just saying that over and over again, and it would still be just as entertaining.
He would own it.
Oh, for sure.
He's also just so positive and uplifting. And when I think of my childhood, I think of Reese's Puffs, the commercial. Like,
Yeah, and that song, like the voice of like he has like a voice that is like that song. Like when I hear that song, I think of I could I if I didn't know it, Maudie was singing that song.
there you go. Who do we
Yeah.
have next, Liam, on our
Okay,
list?
next up we have Laura. And let me tell you, the cereal that I think she is, and I know that you probably think this too, is Trix. And
Interesting
here's why.
take.
Here's why. So she might be like a little bit of a trickster,
Okay.
but deep down, she's just that fun-loving bunny that everyone knows.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like she's like that. She may seem like one, but she isn't. She's like that bunny.
I also, similar to Ashley, Laura's always serving looks and Trix, colorful, beautiful, and aesthetically pleasing looking cereal.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And like there's just always something else in Tricks, and like Laura definitely has that.
I would agree. Also, kind of in this a similar vibe, we've got Sloan, who I
Yes.
is Fruit Loops. And I'll tell you, not only is she in the loop on everything going on with celebrity gossip and the current events, she's in the loop. But the slogan for Fruit Loops is follow your nose, it always knows. And tell me that Sloan doesn't always, she's not always in, she's in the know.
Yeah, and she also has always all those segments about like with a bunch of gossip and like the juice on all the celebrity tea. Like she has that. She knows all the info. She's looped into everything like you just mentioned. Yeah, she's looped into all of that.
All right, now we're going to kind of go speed round here.
Yes. Okay, so we have
bring us in first.
next we have Annabelle, and we think that she's Frosted Flakes.
Sporty, one of the guys, a classic, a lovable cereal. I can see it.
I can also see it. Like I could just Annabelle's into that WFUV sports, and like I know that she's probably a basketball fan, so she definitely would hang out with Tony the Tiger for sure, who's always playing basketball.
For sure.
Definitely.
Then we've got Danny. I think Danny is Cookie Crisp, personally.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I would agree.
just like a classic, and like kids love Cookie Crisp. Who doesn't love Cookie Crisp? I think Danny's a pretty lovable guy.
Yeah, he knows how to, he's crisp, he's to the point, he has his opinions, and he's, yeah. Next we have Merrick, and he's Cheerios. I think he's classic, simple. He's here for a good time, but not like a super long time.
I'd have to agree. Definitely will cheer you up, Merrick.
Yeah. Always happy and healthy. Always staying happy and healthy, just like
Heart
that.
heart healthy.
heart healthy. Yes.
Heart healthy, happy. Then we've got Nick. I think Nick is Apple Jacks. Tell me Nick does not remind you of that little Apple dude on the box of Apple Jacks. Goofing around. Getting the
Always.
job done, though.
Always.
Getting the job
Yes.
done.
Yeah. Super funny. And he's definitely goofy. So,
And our final character on our list today is the one and only Professor Jim Shearer. And we've come to the agreement that Jim is none other than Rice Krispies. Liam, do you want to elaborate?
no, he just snap, crackles, and pops. He cracks jokes. He's like always here for a good time. And you can make anything out of Rice Krispies. Do you have desserts? So that's Jim for you.
Such a classic, an iconic, the godfather of all cereals, Jim Shearer.
Yes.
And that is all we have for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Julia Leahy.
And I'm Liam Dahlborn. Thanks for listening to Spilt Milk.